And what a grand final we have got. OG, the team to try and achieve what has never been done in the history of Dota.
2 players slated by an organization they would grow to demolish. 1 emerging talent with little stage experience. 2 more veterans looking for an opportunity to prove themselves. 5 players out for revenge, recognition, glory, and of course, $1 million.
They fight all the way through the lower bracket and will be claimed the champions of the first ever Dota 2 Major live here in Frankfurt.
OG were a brand new team heading into the 2015 Frankfurt Major. Originally called Monkey Business, the team consisted of strong players brought together for one purpose: qualifying for a major.
In the end, it turned out good. N0tail, Moon, Crit, Miracle. We formed, and I was really happy with the team. I think at that point I knew that we could become one of the best.
In December 2014, Tal, Fly, Isaac was kicked off Team Secret. Just a few weeks later, Johan, N0tail, Sunstein was kicked as well. Fly ended up at Complexity, N0tail at Cloud9, but both knew they could do better. As the major shuffle started, the pair had a chance to grab some strong players from around the world.
Straight after TI, I have been talking to Miracle because this was one of the players I really wanted to try and play with.
Fly brought David, Moon, Meander, Tan with him from Complexity, and they went on to recruit Andreas Crit Nielsen and Amir Miracle Alberkari, a pub star with the highest MMR in the world.
Once all the pieces fell into place, like I actually found all the people I wanted to play with originally, like from the get-go, then yeah, I felt like we were going to become one of the best teams.
Monkey Business went on a tear, taking first place in the European qualifiers for the MLG World Finals. At the main event, OG nearly beat Team Secret, but their run fell short after a 2-1 loss that saw them placed 3rd to 4th.
Back to him and the other Misery. He's gonna go down as well, but still he's got that Aegis. He'll come right back ready to fight. And Team Secret, they've taken it. GG, they'll move on to the grand finals.
Days after that loss, the team rebranded to OG and entered the major. While OG had placed first in the European qualifier, few analysts had them ranked high going into the tournament.
I think they went on a 17-game winning streak, actually. Online, they won so many games in a row. But then when you come to a tournament like this, the teams are way more prepared than they are for online matchups. Yeah. And I still want to see something new out of OG against VP, because else I think they're pretty clear in their drafting pattern, and that's something FNG can use.
And at first, it didn't look like the pundits were wrong. OG got their group stage off to a rough start, losing twice to Vega Squadron, which put them 3rd in their group.
They've got Crit, they're gonna TP in. They wanna take this one out. They're gonna go ahead and control up Zolo as well as Mag. They've got the refresher, control up no one as well, but Miracle, he's stuck in the tree, he's forced to have him out. They finally get him in the fight, but perhaps it's too late. They've already lost all their control time. Now one left to lose to the ultimate. Miracle's taking out these heroes, but he's gonna start being kited around. He needs some additional help, especially with Pasha coming back to glimpse back in the can't lose the Divine. He can't afford to lose the Divine Rapier. They get the shot out, but it's still not enough. Miracle fighting for his life here in this tournament, but he can't do it. He goes down, loses the Divine Rapier. That was everything OG had. And now Vega Squadron on the victory march straight through middle lane.
They entered the bracket stage in the lower bracket and took a quick win over Fnatic.
And that's your GG. OG
nothing they can do
it.
to stop the Huskar there.
There we have it. If N0tail's the flower, OG's the whole garden.
OG's next opponent was not a serious contender either. Mineski did well in the group stage, but crumbled to OG's might.
Ice Blast to fly across, that's a nice Sonic Wave, they'll get the Night Stalker, but N0tail's starting to go to work. Miracle as well, with the Reckon, there's a snowball to buy them sometime, but they've lost the Drow, they've lost the AA, they're going to lose the Tusk, they're going to lose the Venge, 4 dead, only Cuckoo surviving, and GG is called.
Next came Virtus Pro, OG's first challenging opponent of the main event. VP managed to take the second game of the series, but OG rallied and finished the series with a 2-1 win.
What are yours? Main jumps in with the Crush, Phobos there with the wall.
Oh, they might get him.
There's Miracle.
Oh, the grave.
The graves are huge, and they'll continue the fight now. Miracle moving forward, does get stunned. Will lose the Aegis here. Maybe this is it from VP. They've already managed to pop the Aegis. Can they get anything more though? Miracle's back up. He will blink himself even further in. Phobos, well, he might go down, and he does. It's a 1-for-2. Miracle is unstoppable with the BKB now, just getting himself in position to fight. Now he goes back for the racks, and I don't know if VP have an answer to this.
There's 4 dead heroes, that's it.
GG!
OG then moved on to face off against CDEC Gaming. CDEC was one of the direct invites to the tournament, made it out of their group in first place, and had already defeated LGD Gaming, one of the best teams at the tournament. OG crushed them in 2 swift games.
It's the bait. Oh,
whoa.
Under the tier 4 tower. Is he going so fast? And now they lock in Cheeky. They keep the ensnare up, and N0tail copping a hell of a lot of damage. He still needs this ad spray, and the Global Styles stops kind of everything but crit. He stops even more aggressive kind of attack. This should be the game right now. Is OG. They have pitched a tent. They have planted the flag, and they own CDEC 2-0 in this best of 3.
OG's losers run was incredible, but there was a run happening on the other side of the bracket that was about to threaten theirs. Like OG, eHome floundered in groups, but unlike OG, eHome was an invited team and were considered to be one of the best teams at the tournament.
eHome is the most formidable Chinese team right now. They walked their way through the lower bracket, and to see them go up against OG is, it's a treat.
eHome had made as deep a losers run as OG, and it was time for the 2 losers bracket titans to face off.
All right, starting this first game off between OG and eHome, determining who's going to be able to have the chance to go up against Evil Geniuses in the lower bracket final.
eHome took game 1 off the back of a strong performance from CTY's Queen of Pain.
N0tail comes forward, but CTY still has his BKB, daring OG to try and fight him at this point. He's actually going to blink forward.
Fly sitting on the side here does have his tombstone. Great BKB charge out from CTY, but no! The Sonic Wave completely whiffs that one. The Shackle Shot comes in, they'll finish up crit, but it's a return kill on the Bounty Hunter. N0tail's now trying to get away, but CTY
here comes
one
the
step
Doom
ahead
now.
of him, and now
Gotta get
gotta get out of here before the Doom.
OG looked shaken as eHome slowly grinded them down over the course of 35 minutes.
A critical pickoff, and OG missed their mark. eHome are now on quick retreat here. No smoke up, they're gonna turn things around. And Moonmander, he's already dead. Sonic Wave hits on 4, wiping out OG. They're just gonna lose 1 by 1, and they call it game 1.
But OG came back swinging. Game 2 was a complete reversal of the first, as N0tail and Fly's incredible play kept OG alive.
They're gonna come downhill. This is gonna be real bad. Old Chicken, he's gonna be the first target up in the air, back down. N0tail's just beating him to a pulp. He's already got a monster kill streak, and he is a monster on the front lines. Moon Meander stuns up over 11. They'll look for more now. Toss forward. Kaka, he's gonna be the next target. Almost has the feature ready to go, but they turn around as they found Lonham. They caught him out with the counter ward and ward combination. Take 3 and make it a Roshan as well.
Game 3 went down to the wire. Both teams were nearly even until 27 minutes in, when a series of kills gave OG the advantage they needed to open up the game and finish off the series 2-1.
As OG starts swarming in, they see blood. They're going to be able to find the rest of
They've got
eHome.
vision
Lonham
for this.
blinks himself away, does lay out the Fisher, but it's not going to be enough. They catch both Lonham as well as Old Chicken. That's just not 1 kill, but it looks like it's going to be 3. N0tail going into the base, TP out, not successful for the Lina.
OG,
they have the extra life. They're going to go for Miracle, trying to blow him up first. They bring him pretty low, but it's not quite enough.
he's got the Miracle still.
Turn around. He's got it on CTY. Miracle turns. He fights. He's got the Mag. He doesn't care if he goes down. He's creating space for N0tail. He's already taken out the Earthshaker. He'll turn around on Old Chicken as well. 2 down. Go for a 3rd. And eHome, they call it. That's all over.
OG emerged triumphant, entering the top 3, but they were about to go further.
And we'll start the day with the clash between green and blue, and end the day with a best-of-5 grand final as the tournament reaches its climax after nearly 2 weeks of fantastic action.
In the lower bracket finals, OG faced off against Evil Geniuses, the TI5 champions.
It has been a miraculous run, some might say, for OG. They have taken down Fnatic, Mineski, Virtus Pro, CDEC, and eHome to get here. They are 9-2 in their last 11 games. The green dream is strong, but the boys in blue, they stand in opposition.
Once again, the favorites took the first game. EG took a fast 28-minute game 1.
This game feeling like it's all but theirs. Sumail jumps in, he gets up the Doom move, just pop back. He's dead again, out for 50. Craig coming next, the overgrowth's there, not gonna matter. Universe rolls in, right past it, onwards and upwards for the boys in blue as they turn to Miracle. Arteezy deals with him. That's gonna be a 4th kill for the fight as N0tail looks to rejoin, tries to get back in. The Shadow Fiend will buy back, down as well as the tree. OG, the dream in this one is long dead, 29-2.
But at this point, that was all part of the OG strategy. The next two games were slow but decisive, with OG coming out on top after scouting out EG's weaknesses in Game 1.
This could get ugly for N0tail. He's down in an awkward position. That initial board slow comes out. The Roar's there to follow it up. Are they going to commit a curse for this as well? There's the snowball save. Crit's looking to turn it. Miracle runs in. He gets the stun up here, but he's used up. He's kept out of the fight. Arteezy's going to try to lock him down. The Echo, though, hits Sumail.
Dying so fast.
It hits Sumail on the charge through it. Arteezy gets chopped up. He's down for the count. No buyback for Hunter. Universe could be next. GG! OG, the green dream! It lives on!
OG had done the impossible.
This is the most unlikely lower bracket run in the history of Dota 2.
But they still had one series left. They still had the grand finals, where Team Secret was waiting. Team Secret, who kicked Fly and N0tail just a few months before. Team Secret, who handed OG their first LAN loss at the MLG World Finals the month before.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Frankfurt and welcome to the Frankfurt Major Grand Final.
Both teams took off like a bullet in Game 1, with 5 kills before creeps even spawned.
OG bring all 5 players down into the Radiant jungle, and they're ready to crush on Moon. The boss behind Moon, he has to protect himself inside that snowball. Eternal Envy dropping very, very low. Will he die with a toss-up? Envy's down! PL gets the kill, but a huge drop from Misery! Misery's trying to get out with Pipeline die! OG, there's so much damage being applied to Team Secret. A double kill for N0tail. They want to go for more. Pipeline die, throwing N0tail away, but he'll just switch his target over to Puppey, who's pushed Crit into a corner with the shot. Puppey will grab a double kill for Team Secret. We're heating up here in Grand Final Game 1, and 5 kills before the cockerel crows.
OG and Secret kept pushing each other, matching their opponents kill for kill. But Secret flinched first.
Fly walks in, the smoke's gonna break, and Weeha, well, there's a cross from Misery. Massive pulls it down with the snowball, dragging Fly up with the Sonic Wave. It's so hard on OG, but they got so much life. Puppey dropping down low. It's 2 heroes lost. Probably gonna be a third. Misery so low, and Fly, the Cold Breath gets him up. Weeha will die from the fall. It's a double kill for N0tail. It's 4 kills for OG. And a 9-kill lead, 19 minutes in.
Once they got rolling, OG were nearly invincible. And they used their advantage like a battering ram.
It may be a bit of a race, as now Puppey, the Mass Surfboards will drop the snowball, will ensure the kill on the Shadow Shaman as they mop up the Mass Surfboards for the Tier 3 tower. Secret are working on the TPs will come back, the curse on Weeha. It doesn't catch out Envy, however. Misery will go for the crush. He doesn't have space to get back out of here. As OG, they'll get a double kill into the Invoker. They protect their Tier 3 tower, and they wipe the entire bottom rack. Secret just don't push fast enough. OG, again, the Megas, and OG, like, it's gifted. There's just nothing else coming. They're not calling it a game. OG now have Mega creeped as Secret. The Tiny's up in 6 seconds. They can fight as 5, but that's going to be it. In fact, they just call it before the Tiny is up. GG. OG will take game number 1 against Team Secret.
While OG took Game 1 quickly, Game 2 was where our heroes started to show their cracks. Team Secret did not let OG fool them into playing the fast-paced bloodbath of Game 1, and instead went slow, ganking their supports with Slark.
There's nothing he really needs to phase through. The attack speed is very good for stealing more stats. Oh, he's going to go on Fly here, catching up nicely with the phase boost.
Yep. Well, this is the way Envy likes to play. You talk about that Weaver build with the phase boost. What Envy used to do is just dive in so deep Fly. Will actually shallow grave himself up. And Envy, not 100% where he wants to go, but he'll come back down. He's got actually the Rubik to come in. Pylai die. Kill securing with a pounce away. Eternal Envy will run out to safety.
The game went back and forth, and while it looked to be in Secret's favor at first, Eternal Envy walked right into an Observer Ward, putting him right into OG's crosshairs and costing his team the game.
And Envy, oh, this is not where you want to go with the Shadow Blade's going to come underneath the Observer and Sentry Ward. They can see him clearly. Lincoln's Field Trigger against the BKB up as well as the oldie. Attacking into Clockwork, gets the back. The hookshot won't get him out of here, but Miracle catching Weeha, and with the curse, 2 minutes on the sideline. Buyback is available. The Pilot Eyes on the run, the homing missile chasing him, but Miracle just knocked all over it. Keeping Miracle out, Weeha blinks forward, and now Curse Star controlling Misery as well. Gyrocopter finally free of the Fiend Strip. He can let the call down go. The BKB trigger from Secret. They need space, they need time, they need another hope, but it doesn't really exist. They've lost too many heroes. Secret, GG and OG. The dream is 1 game away.
Secret bounced back in Game 3, banning out or stealing OG's defensive supports and dominating them early with EE's Wraith King.
They got him.
There's your stun. Cold feet as well. Snowball now being used.
Oh, he
moving
died. He
into
did too
Envy,
early.
and now the cold feet is going to kick in. He could have actually waited a little bit longer. Is the damage enough with a secondary blast from Envy? There it is. Team Secret will claim the first blood.
This is
Actually, they don't
not
see it.
good for OG.
It's because it's nighttime. They don't see it. Envy's going to jump in. Secret have done the wraparound. They bring down Sven. Crit does forward, but Moon, he can't get his Echo Slam off in the fight. At least he's going to be isolated on the side. Miracle winding up for the ulti. Eternal Envy, the only one really being hit hard by it. And there's your Echo Slam, but so ineffective against Team Secret. Miracle isolated in the mid lane. And now Manda Stars tries to dodge the cold feet, able to do so. But you've still got too much follow-up here from Secret. They haven't lost a single iota. And with that roll forward, Crip at least can't try and blink himself up, but Misery equal to the task. And that is a team wipe.
Secret took Game 3, but OG just needed the rest. Game 4 let OG go back to what they did best. Fight.
Pick him up, throw him down. The Raze is number one. Needs to pop that Chemical Rage. It was 1 second off cooldown. Now they go for the Brewmaster. All he's in here. Weehaw Puppy needs to shallow grave him, not in time. The Razes from Miracle are able to connect. Misery was taken out of the fight for so long. The Brewlings, they've only got another 4 seconds left in them. It may be enough time. As Envy also dies to the Doombringer. Now Brewmaster, N0tail back into his normal form.
They moved on to take towers, bringing down the melee racks at 18 minutes. However, they got cocky.
And Envy just wants to run out of here. Pops the Healing Ward. Miracle keeps the chase going. That Healing Ward in front of Envy, they don't have anything to work with. With the weave, they get the vision. It's the Fiend Strip. Pie doing it from Pocket of War. No Brewmaster rolling. It's not going to stop N0tail from jumping in. The spin damage. Miracle will drop. And now N0tail isolated, sandwiched into Team Secret. Even Nightmare over on Crit. Doom will arrive, but he's got no ulti.
But OG bounced back hard.
Wants to go for the Concoction, still on cooldown for now. They're chasing after the bigger one. They're chasing after the SF with the Crush available. The Concoction still not there, and he just turns to Satanic as well. Mech on Misery on the run. Crit, he's got Crush available, but with that Blink Dagger on cooldown, he can't do anything at the moment. In fact, all they can do is kill off Weehaw. This could be a dieback right now. Alchemist TPing out. How much damage have they got? They get the stun. Weehaw can't escape. Miracle will finally die, but no Alchemist, no Juggernaut. This is a dream moment for OG. They're gonna get another kill as well into Pylai die.
It all ended with a last fight bottom. Secret needed a pick, but OG had victory in their sights, and nothing was going to stop them.
They find an opening. It's going to be over on Moon with the Fiend Strip being committed. What have they got left? Amplification stolen by Crit, but Moon is still going to go down on Willie. He walks away with 500 life. The Brewmaster split's gone. This is the last hurrah right now for Team Secret. What have they got? Probably not enough. Misery back in, just walking towards his end, and the Doom on Envy. Crit spins in front of him as he picks him up, throwing Envy back. The Shallow Grave will buy a little bit of time, but only a little bit. The Doom, it won't ensure the kill. Envy getting a big heal bomb, and Moon keeps trying to fight Envy back into the spin, but it's a double kill for Crit. The Rubik going to work. Puppy's on the retreat, but there are so many OG heroes behind him, all 5 of them. The Shallow Grave again buying time for Secret to buy back 2 heroes. Concoction flying forward, keeps Moon out of the fight, but again they lose the Dazzle. You can take a little bit of damage off, and a Blink 3-man crush. Envy looking for the damage follow-up. The Concoction is going to be there. How much have they got? Misery lost half him away. We are there's your Requiem from Miracle with the Raiders combined. Secret, they've taken too much damage. OG have got it. They've got the TG out from Secret. OG, they fight all the way through the lower bracket and will be claimed the champions of the first ever Dota 2 Major live here in Frankfurt.
OG became the first ever Dota 2 Major champions. Their first significant LAN saw them tear down almost every favorite, the TI champions and their own demon. No team has ever had a lower bracket run nearly as impressive since. Some teams may have matched their series record, but none did so as the underdog. None did so at their first major LAN, and none did so to become the first major champions. OG's story may not be over, but their legend began at the Frankfurt Major.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.